Yo, what is good? What's going on, everybody? Thank you for joining us tonight. We're going to get into the comments in just a second here. We're going to talk about some very interesting things today. Presidential debate. What did we learn? We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it, guys. We'll see what we learned, what we didn't learn. People are eating cats and dogs, guys. Is this a thing? I mean, I know it happens in other places of the world, but it's finally here. It's finally, hey, might as well make it a thing, right? I mean, people were eating bats in what, 2019, something like that. Okay. You know, it's one of those things. What are you going to do, guys? What are you going to do? But hey, you know what I'm saying? In the meantime, we have Platinum. What's going on? He says, what's up, fellas? I'll try to be on a little later. Brother, you're not going to miss every subject tonight's a good one. You're not going to miss it. I guarantee you. We got Richard Ward, the warden. Hey, yo, he says, say hello to the bad guy. What's going on, Richard? We got my man, Mr. Dylan Hernandez. Hide your cats, hide your dogs. Hide everything. Hide your signs, all your supporter signs on your lawn. They're going to start burning those up soon. So, guys, we got a few subjects tonight. We got presidential debate. What did we learn? We have what else do we have? We have spankings. Them ass whoopings is coming back to a school near you and a state near you. Okay, guys. We got the fabulous Mr. Ben Walker. What's going on? He says, what up, fellas? Before I keep going on, let me bring on my co-host. I can't do this alone. It's just too much to carry. I need me a strong man. And I need me a very strong man. Mr. Ethan Effin F your feelings Thompson, baby.
What up on this hump day?
Hump day, yes it is.
Hey guys, we're mid through the week. We're still alive. And I'm going to start this very special show, with the very special goat milk announcement that even Mendoza himself has no clue.
Uh-oh. Am I the daddy? He is. You are.
This was inspired through recent events.
What's up, Kev? What's going on?
I'm here to declare my name in the running for president of the United States.
I'll drink to that. Let's bring out the cold ones. This is official.
And don't worry, some of you have jobs in line, so I got you guys.
Ice cold.
Mendoza's going to be border patrol for me. Ooh. He's going to work the border.
I know how that Mexican mentality works. I don't know about Chinese guys and the Haitians, but it's a learning process. I got your back.
I'm hoping there's some in the hobby that could teach us a thing.
Maybe. We got Adam. What's going on, Adam? What's up, brother? Good to have you on here, man. Richard says, can I be first pimp of the chain?
You'll be some sort of talent agent. Trust me. All my secretaries and everybody will have to go through the talent agent first.
Oh yeah, it's a screening process, guys. You know, you have to make sure you're qualified. You have to make sure you're good. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. If you're one of those that look like you can't come to the cookout, you ain't on. It's just that simple. It's that simple, guys. Another subject we'll be talking about is, have you seen these drones dropping thermite on the Russians? Has anybody seen that?
See the Twitter clip of it? That's pretty wild. I mean,
it is wild. Like, dang. You know, we used to use drones just to fly around, and then they put cameras on them. Then they got really, really good, and you know what I mean? Now all kind of stuff is going on, you know? Seems like everything...
It was only a matter of time. It was only a matter of time before they weaponized them.
Yeah. the government can never see us have fun with our toys because then they take them over and do upgrades that we can't have, but they can have. Seems a little unfair to me. I don't know. But what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do?
I tend to agree on the unfairness. I feel like I should be able to have any type of weapon that the government has, but that's a whole other rabbit hole.
Yeah, it is. I know. I am for the people thing. I do side with we should all be able to bear arms, as I do as well. Right there behind me. But definitely there comes a big responsibility with all that, guys. Yeah. And in case you didn't know, guys, just a quick reminder. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Well, let's take a look. We'll get into the debate next, but I just want to talk about this real quick because this is wild, guys. All this stuff going on with Ukraine, and it's all tied in. All these politics and everything, it's all tied in. Right? We got a lot of crazy shit going on these days in the world. But let's take a look at this clip because this is wild. If you haven't seen it, here you go, guys. So yeah, that is 2,400 Celsius.
For people to want to understand thermite and what about thermite, just go on YouTube and type in thermite welding. So what is they do thermite welding. That's how they fuse the railroad ties together, railroad tracks, and it is the craziest, hottest, like gnarliest thing you'll ever watch. I mean, can you imagine if they had that technology in like Vietnam?
Wow, they would have been melting people in the bush line.
Dude,
that's no joke. That's no joke. Like as soon as that drops on you, there's skin melting off of you, just burning off of your body to the bone.
Well, you figure you said it's 2,400 degrees. It's like 1,800 degrees to melt gold. So at that point, it's past the melting point of gold.
It is you. Wow. Greg Harrison is in the house. What is up, brother? What's going on? It's
exactly.
like napalm. Yeah,
it's like a gnarlier napalm.
Yes, it's a step up. It's SD versus HD.
No, thermite CNC right now. We're in the CNC phase of thermite.
Oh yeah. But definitely, man, it is crazy.
The next will be a thermite cluster bomb. That'll be the HD.
I mean, this is what we're allowed to see and what we know. What we don't know and we can't see.
I watch a lot of like military videos and a lot of things, and people don't understand. Like, bro, they have 50 caliber rounds, ammunition that are able to penetrate a cinder block wall before it does its thing.
Wow, that's crazy.
It's wild.
That is really, 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 really wild, man. No lie. That's people. I don't think people grasp that. I don't think they can grasp it yet. You know what I mean? But it's all tied in. It's all in the politics today. It's the talk of everything that's going on in Ukraine, Russia.
It's this.
It's the money, guys. It's our government. Let's not fool ourselves. Our government is not in control. It's the banking system. That's all it is. But it ties into even things like immigration and what's going on, and those kind of things. And I watched recently a mini doc, if you will, of 30 minutes with this YouTuber guy. His name's Tyler Oliveira, and I mentioned him before. The guy does really, really good on the beat, on the street, like videoing and all that stuff. So he went out. We're going to get into this later on, but even Trump mentioned these Haitians moving into neighborhoods and eating the cats and the dogs in the neighborhoods, right? And there might be a certain
no. Let's be real. How many cats you ever see around a Chinese restaurant?
Me and you might have eaten cats already, cat and dog and pigeons.
So what's funny is though people don't understand what like they're actually eating sometimes. So a funny story is my dad and my mom in the 70s managed an apartment complex, and in that apartment complex they see a guy toting guinea pigs into his house. Well, my dad's like, well, they're not allowed to have pets. Backtrack a little bit. These same people make this bread meat like pierogi type doodad that they love. My mom was pregnant. She loved it. My dad loved it. They fight over them. So my dad goes up to him. He's like, hey, bro, I saw you bringing some guinea pigs in. We're not allowed to have pets. He says, they're not pets. My dad's like, huh? He's like, what do you mean? He's like, the pierogi. My dad's like, what? He opens up the freezer and there's prepped guinea pigs that are already seasoned. He's like, that's the meat. He's like, my dad's like, I ran out of the house like a little girl, screaming and gagging. I was like, but you liked it.
Oh,
you didn't know it.
You knew
liked
it. You loved it before you knew it. It's kind of like when you're at the strip club and I've heard some guys are necking down this hot chick, and then they reach down, they get a feel in the find out he's George of the Jungle.
Now, in defense, New York rats, those aren't regular rats, bro.
Those are your Thanksgiving center table size rats.
Those are your Venice Beach boardwalk pump and iron rats. Those are. I actually have drawings. I've been working on a comic book slowly.
We're getting there, show. We're getting there. He's getting there. I'm sure it takes a while, you know. Strip club. So I've heard.
Isn't that strip club in Bangkok?
No pun intended.
It's like, was that Hangover 3? Was that Hangover 3?
Oh yeah, I think the wedding, right? Oh God, no.
Very special. He come inside me, I come inside you. I need to watch that.
That was wild. That was wild, man. That's some wild stuff. But yeah, guys, I mean, it's getting a little crazy down there. This is in Springfield, Ohio, I believe, that they're talking about. And there have been some it's been brought up all the way up to the main stage of the debate. And we're gonna put a little clip on here because Trump does mention this. It makes him sound crazy, but I had to fact check it. People had to do their fact checking also, but this is what he said about it. Right?
People have been eating each other's faces recently too, so
yeah.
In Springfield, they're eating the dogs, the people that came in. They're eating the cats. They're eating the pets of the people that live there. And this is what's happening in our country, and it's a shame.
ABC News did reach out to the city manager there. He told us there have been no credible reports of specific claims of pets being harmed, injured, or abused by individuals within the immigrant community.
Well, I've seen people on television.
Let me just say here, this is
the people on television
say
my dog was taken and used for food.
You talk about extreme.
Would a city manager of a city really? Oh yeah, you haven't had dog tacos? Oh my god!
I'm sorry. I had a laugh when you said.
People do.
I had a laugh when
People
you
do
said.
some weird
But
shit.
I see people on TV. It's funny he says that because then he calls TV fake news and fake TV. But he says it's so childlike. It was just hilarious to me. I don't know why.
People in general do some weird shit. Are into some weird shit. Like, oh man, when you start going through TikTok and Twitter or X, and you really start seeing that bottom rung of society. Man, there's some strange fuckers out there, bro.
There is. There's people dressing up in neon masks, dancing and grooving, and like whenever I see that, I think of that scene. I don't know if you've seen that scene in that movie. What was it? Was it the what is that movie I'm trying to think about? Where the guy eats people. What's his name?
Jeffrey Dahmer?
Yeah. Well, no. The Silence of the Lambs.
Oh yeah,
Was that the scene where the guy's dancing around in a rug and he's tucking in his
Buffalo
wiener?
Bill. Buffalo Bill. Dude, that's the scary part, though. There are people like that. There are people like that are walking amongst you.
There, I've seen it.
And it's scary. It's frightening to not like. You think you know somebody, but you only know what they allow you to know.
Hannibal Lecter. There you go. Yeah. Thank you, brother. Thank you, man. Yeah. Next thing you know, they'll be eating eagles.
Just like those. Just like that's
bald
another thing.
eagles for that.
It's like those furries. That's one thing I just don't understand.
I don't get it.
I'm gonna throw on a cat costume and we're gonna have a good. I don't get it.
I don't know. I don't get it myself. I really don't get it. It's time for parents to take a strong hold of the situation and whip that ass on those kids because, come on now.
You can still hear me, Craig.
Crazy stuff, and when you ate it, that's what hurts. When you start believing what your kids are saying, and you're aiding and abiding that, like, no, it's not a good thing, guys. I mean, come on, take control of your kids, man. Definitely not the thing. But it's gotten to the point where these Haitians have moved into this neighborhood, and it didn't happen just today. It didn't happen a month ago. From witnesses and people that live around the area, they've said this has been going on for the last 4 or 5 years, and dropping them off by the busloads, which I don't disbelieve. I believe it. It's there. But this guy, Tyler Oliveira, he goes in the neighborhood. He talks to the people in the neighborhood. He gets 2 or 3 mixed feelings, and answers from people and their views. But there is also more views from other people, and especially the people from Haiti there, kind of going, what are you talking about? A couple did admit to like chopping up a goose or a geese because they're birds. They're kind of used to that, frying up a pig in the back or whatever, but nothing about the dogs and cats,
Yo, have you ever had a pig roasted underground?
Oh yeah. Dude, with banana leaves and all that shit. My neighbors were from Yucatan, and they did that one time, and it was the strangest thing to me. But it was, it was the most bomb type of pork meat you could eat, dude. It was just so succulent, soft, melt, fall apart. Dude, it was good.
Off topic.
Had gator too.
Anybody know a good cam link besides Elgato? This is my fourth one.
Oh,
Sucker just overheats. It overheats and then dies. I have a $25 one that I'm using right now that works flawlessly.
But you know what's crazy though? That you'd had it for a while before it started giving you problems. So why all of a sudden? That's crazy.
Now, no, this is like my fourth one now. So
yeah, and $100 a pop. It's not cheap.
100, yeah,
that is not
this
cheap.
This $35 one, no problem.
No problemo. So let's take it to a. So witness. The video's a little long. I'm gonna cut it short, but it's a Ohio Springfield, Ohio resident, and talks a little bit about this. So let's just take a minute and listen to this person and see what she said, guys.
Okay, Springfield, Ohio resident here for 30 years. Okay, been here my entire life. And since we are trending right now all over social media and people are wanting answers from the residents, I figured I would chime in. Might be an unpopular opinion that people want to hear. Yes, we have a Haitian Creole immigration issue. In the last couple years, they have dropped off 20 to 30,000 immigrants. The last year to 6 months has been insane. They are dropping them off by the busload. When I say busload, I mean the Greyhound busload full. They are taking them to the gas stations and dropping them off by the busload. But the big thing that I wanted to address, have I personally seen any videos or public reports of the Haitian Creole community stealing cats and dogs and eating them? No. The video that is going viral of the woman who killed and ate the cat is not from Springfield. Do I know for a fact, and have I seen with my own eyes, okay, a Haitian Creole immigrant killing ducks? Yes. They are killing ducks at our reservoir and at our parks. They are chopping their heads off and they are cooking them up. They are also gutting animals up at the reservoir and roasting them, goats, pigs, that kind of thing, which, you know, obviously isn't illegal, but the way that they're doing it and leaving things is just ridiculous. They have completely trashed our reservoir. I mean, overloaded with trash. It's really sad. There's 20 to 30 tents out there that they are sleeping in, and again, just completely trashed. The driving is a huge issue. There's probably 4 to 5 plus accidents a day of the Haitian Creole immigrants solely. They're running into any and everything. I mean that. Trash cans, poles, libraries, garages, houses, flipping cars in the middle of the street, going down the street the wrong.
So I cut it a little short there because she babbles on about other things. But guys, I go back to the thing, and I want to say something. I wasn't hurt till I heard her say goats. We here at the Goat Milk Diaries,
We don't condone that.
we do not condone that. It's a precious,
Haitian.
precious thing.
Well, were they Haitians?
Haitians,
Haitians be damned if you touch another goat.
pork touching a goat. They're sacred animals, for God's sake, guys.
So watching her video, okay, I'm twofold.
Josh
See what
Rhodes,
they're-
what's up, brother?
Seeing what they're doing and see what she confirmed that they're doing. I don't think it's actually that far-fetched that one of these was like, hey, you see Garfield the cat over there? Let's grab him.
Full of lasagna and good.
But again, culturally, if you go on YouTube right now and type in Vice dog market, you're gonna watch the most disgusting. And man, I love my puppy. Damn if somebody tried to hurt him. You will watch the most disgusting thing you'll ever see in your life of them killing dogs, kidnapping dogs, eating dogs. I mean, this old lady with the butcher knife is just like, just bad. I mean, I'm sorry, but watch it because it's actually educational. And there's people over there like that are like trying to like just go over there and buy the dogs because they're like, hey, come here, Fluffy.
But there's a lot of them buying them out there, right, to save them. And the thing is, they boil these dogs alive just to get the hair off of them.
Mm-hmm.
It's insane, dude. It's crazy. It's crazy. And I will say, Adam, if you notice in the video, I'll put Adam's comment back up. He says, chick is going to drive into the oncoming traffic. Jesus. If you saw and noticed,
she
damn near broke her neck to look over to her left before she made a safe lane change. How many people do that?
But again, we're expecting a lot out of a ginger female driver.
Oh,
stereotyping.
A little hot too.
Yeah, I can't hear. I give her the 1 2.
Mm-hmm. God, let me see. So here's the thing, guys. It's just a cultural thing. We're not used to it. There are different places in the world that they do things that we're not used to it. I think it's they move down here so quick that there's no time to educate these people.
There's no acclimation.
Right and wrong. Exactly. No acclimation to what we do here, how things are done, why we do things, that kind of stuff,
But it's the same, but it's different. That movie, it's a fantastic movie based on a true story called Alive, where they get stuck on the Andes Mountains. They had a plane crash. Again, you don't know
what you're capable of.
You don't know what you're capable of. You don't know their cultures, but you don't know what you're capable of unless you're put in a position to where it's either life or death. See, like for me, if I was on that plane, I'd be worried shitless because I'd have about 17 people running behind me with a fork and knife. Like, salt, pepper. I can't do it. I'm just saying, so just understand that culturally we're spoiled because I can literally get on my phone right now, and while we're talking, I can have Burger King, Jack in the Box, Taco Bell, Kentucky Fried Chicken, Popeyes, whatever I want to eat right now, I can have just delivered.
Yeah.
And sit here and eat it on stream.
Yeah. Well, they work on delivery too, because we're going to see another clip real quick. And obviously they also work on delivery. So here on the news today, guys, I gotta say, this just in, a report of the mystery van driving around and collecting cats. Let's take a look at this clip of an investigation and key witnesses of the neighborhood in Springfield, Ohio. See what they say.
I heard on Twitter that cats are getting kidnapped. Is that true?
Yes, my mom actually seen a post on Facebook. There was Haitians in a white van driving around the neighborhoods collecting cats.
For what?
Skinning them and eating them. Snyder Park.
Pause this. Hold on. I'm sorry, but this first video, that bitch is on the porch waiting for her EBT check to come. That's all she's doing. She sees some local news and she's waiting for her EBT, and that's all she's trying to do is pass the time.
Oh God!
Come here, Camilla from Channel 4. I tell you, I saw Haitians. These Haitians, they're driving around in white vans, had free candy. I went up to them and I was like, "Oh hell no! You ain't gonna get one on me." That's exactly what I see in my mind.
We're gonna have to call the Big Green King, the present Big Green King, because he's in the neighborhood, and see what he reports going on in his neighborhood. Hopefully his dog is safe too.
Right?
But we'll get back to this report real quick.
His dog's not safe because he's a Trump supporter.
Let's see what she's got to say with the rest
I
of it.
heard on Twitter that cats are getting kidnapped. Is that true?
Yes, my mom actually seen a post on Facebook. There was Haitians in a white van driving around the neighborhoods collecting cats,
For what?
skinning them and eating them. Snyder Park, our actual park. If a Haitian is caught walking the grounds down there, they can get arrested because they're going down there and they're killing the Canadian geese so they can take them home and eat them.
Well, okay, it's Canadian geese. Nobody's gonna really.
It's
care
okay.
About that.
They're Canadian.
They're Canadian.
It's okay, guys. They're Canadian. They
Sorry,
are.
Matt.
They are illegally in this country.
Yeah, they're illegals.
They're illegals, sir. We have
Yeah,
to remove them.
all I see her is one of those chicks that's bored. It's 12 o'clock in the afternoon. You notice her and her boyfriend are on the porch because that EBT's coming. That's all I see.
Hey, and this is what we were talking about one time. We didn't do that subject, but definitely there's way too many ghost towns around America with buildings 4, 5, 6 stories high, unoccupied. Crazy. Yes, Stone Cold, we will say that. He says, rest in peace to all the 9/11 victims, by the way.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir.
Rest in peace to all the 9/11 victims out there and anybody that was affected. And on a cliff note to that, man, I wish I as an American, man, I wish we could have a 9/12 without having the 9/11. Because do you remember that next day?
Yeah. I remember it like crazy. I couldn't.
That next
run
week,
fast
man,
enough
it was
to my
just.
enlister. I went to my enlister and I had already done my 2 cents in the service. Could not do it again.
Oh no! See that chick's not methamphetamine. That chick's credit card fraud.
Yeah, she's more. Thank you. Yeah, you got
She's
that
too
right.
thick. She's too thick for methamphetamine. She's
eating good on that EBT. No lie. She's just like me. See,
we know what we do. It's okay.
we have a cookout every whatever day people get their EBT. We have a cookout on that day. The whole neighborhood here be smelling like barbecues and ribs and everything. We know.
Definitely got to watch the 9/11 movie tonight with Nicolas Cage. Phenomenal movie. If you haven't watched it,
have not seen it.
Crazy, sad, great movie. I like watching. Pearl Harbor. I watch Pearl Harbor. I like putting movies up. Love my movies.
Was that the movie that they took a long time to bring it out because the sensitivity is still
A little bit, yeah. It was a couple of cops trapped, and they were trying to get to him, and just super sad movie.
Because I remember at one time also Spider-Man was held back for a little while, right? Because they had the Twin Towers in the background there.
Because I'm a big I like comic books, and two of my favorite comic book artists of all time is Todd McFarlane and Jim Lee. And they after 9/11 they did a comic book. They did illustrations of real life heroes. It was these firemen they took pictures. They took actual pictures and then they drew them and animated them. And just a phenomenal piece of comic book history.
Awesome. And just for a reminder, guys, thanks for watching us tonight and tuning in. I know everybody's got their time with their family and spending a little bit with us. Quick reminder. We keep our commercials short here. We know your attention spans. We already know. We lost like 10 viewers just in that little commercial.
That's why Tony's not even here. We know.
The old man is just tucked away somewhere.
Yeah, Tony's like, guys, I worked 2 days this week. I'm a little tired, so I'm gonna take a nap.
Thanks for watching. Like, share, and subscribe.
As soon as he said, I'm gonna take a nap, Doza knew and I knew. I'm like, this motherfucker's not going.
This is not gonna go well. It's nap time is Howdy time. for
You know
sure.
how we can debunk this Ohio cat thing?
Mr. Cynical, glad to have you on here and watching. Brother, what is that?
I need to contact Mr. Joey Vitanza and see if I can pay him to put boots on the ground. We need boots on the ground in Ohio.
Yes.
Joey, if
no
you
lie.
happen to see this, name your price to put boots on the ground and interview these trailer trash princesses that is in Ohio. We got you.
Yeah, we got you, brother. And just so you know, guys, we are over the second half of the show. Our show is usually about an hour to an hour 10. So we're cracking the second beer open, guys.
That's what we doing.
That's what we do is here. I'm glad I made today some time. I left my AA meeting a little early just to be here for you guys. So,
You know, and when you leave it early, sometimes it's necessary. I love Steven Crowder. Hey, that guy is one of the most. How do I describe him? He's just too funny because I sympathize. We have that similar sense of humor and button pushing ability.
sometimes you don't even need to do much at all for some people.
I know, bro.
My goodness.
Ask my
Here's
wife.
the weak minds and the weak hearts.
You can ask my wife. I can just breathe that I can push somebody's button. It doesn't matter.
I get it. So, guys, let's talk about now what's going on. Bringing something back that I really support, right? And I want to see this go down. I know that I would give permission for this. And we're talking about spanking that ass at school because kids are getting wild. For those of you who parent and do the job you're supposed to do with your kids, I commend you. Awesome. I extend my hand out, give you a handshake. Awesome job. There are kids that you just need to say one thing and they're good. I personally work with children on a daily basis. In the school district, I see the characters, I see the problems with mental and physical problems with these kids on a daily basis. I see what's going on. Honestly, everything starts and ends at home. And these kids are not getting their discipline, man. Kids just are not scared of anything. They're not scared because they're brave. They're scared because there's hasn't been any consequence of any kind at home. None at all.
I don't know about you, Doza, but at home, my wife is more of the executioner. But she has this voice. Like, she can yell at the dog, sit down. And I'll be like, oh, are you talking to me or the dog?
Double check.
I'm just like, you know. But again, I firmly believe it starts at home.
It does.
And I'm not one of those people that's inherently objective. I don't object to, if my kid's being an asshole, and so if my kid's being an asshole and you smack her in the hand with the ruler, like, hey, stupid. As long as it's justified, I'm not gonna be like, don't do that to my daughter.
Yeah. Well, actively today in the United States, 18 states are still legally able to spank your kids. What has changed over the years are the administration, the people, the teachers that are behind it, not really enforcing that policy.
We've gone soft.
Very soft. Society has gone soft. It is said that it is legal to spank your kid with a reasonable amount of force to redirect your child. So they're bringing paddling back legal to the state of Missouri. they have signed on. They had a meeting, and parents at the meeting, which were more than like close to 80 parents at the meeting, saying we are totally fine with this. We got to remember, there are many parents out there that treat the schools like a daycare and a system to educate, but not only educate, but to raise your kids right without them doing the work.
This is a big broad spectrum for me, because one, as a male worker, you know, I've been at my job for going on 22 years. And you know, when you're at a job for 22 years, I feel like you should be able to provide an adequate income where if your wife needs to stay at home, she can stay at home. But even if she can't, it forces both parents to work. So when I take my kids to school, I expect my kids to act a certain way. If not, be disciplined a certain way, because that's just how it should work. But on the caveat to that, though, you can go into all these things like right now we have with the school shooting and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I expect my kid to be protected in a type of manner which I'm willing to protect my child. We protect our money. We protect our money at the banks with guns and security. Why is that so outlandish to protect our children? You know, so it's this big, broad, like thing.
Kev, I'm glad they didn't hit your hands, because if they didn't hit those hands, you wouldn't been able to tool the way you tool your leather. Guys, just real quick.
I was such an angel as a child.
Just real quick, sorry to interrupt.
In my eyes,
guys, this guy Kev right here, hit him up.
Banging it. Did you see that tag, the dual plated tag he did?
Yes, he's doing some good leather work, guys. Hit him up, guys.
Give this man some work.
Awesome work, man. Awesome work. Awesome work. You guys need to hit him up. He's doing fabulous work. He's doing levels that other guys aren't doing.
What would you say your specialty is right now? We need to bring him on the show. We need to get him on the show.
We'll bring him on the show. We'll bring him on the show. I think, but we'll bring him on. We'll bring him on with some of this work.
Bro, if I can do it, anybody can do it. You're good.
Yeah, we got to give props to our leather guys, man. Honestly, yeah. Kev, you deserve it, brother. You're doing an awesome job. But on the spanking kids thing, I get it, man, I'm not against it. I'm all for it. You know what I mean? No teacher, I don't think, is gonna spank my kid any worse than what I've done. You know what I mean? Not all words and timeouts is not for every kid. Psychologically, some kids need a little reset to make them understand there's a certain consequence beyond just. For some kids, sit me in a corner. Separate me to a separate table. I don't care. It don't matter. I'm still going home and doing whatever the hell I want. So it's gotten to the point where kids, and this is nothing new, especially from where I come from growing up, I got in a physical fight with teachers twice. I boxed them up like we were on the street. No lie. So I get it. I understand it. You know what I mean? My parents were very hard on me too, man.
I never was that guy with the teacher, but I remember 11th grade like it was yesterday. I'm in the back of the room being a little smart ass, talking to this chick, and you know, just having a jolly old time. I had this social science teacher. His name was Mr. Fix. And if you want to know what Mr. Fix looked like, Mr. Fix looked like Mr. Burns. I'm not joking with you. Mr. Fix looked like Mr. Burns. All hunched over, bald, just excellent. So I get into class late, and I was actually innocently talking to this girl like, hey, what did I miss? Whatever. all of a sudden, I just see from the front of the room a TV remote control just going whoosh, 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 right past my head and cracked the window in the back of the room.
Shoot, bro.
And I'm like, what the fuck? And he's like, pay attention. I was like, Dick, I was just asking what I missed. Got kicked out, and then I got suspended for a day, and yeah, it happens.
Stay home and mess around.
You
Go
know,
to the store, get some boonies.
I had to make it an excuse. I had to make it an excuse because my dad was a hard ass when it came to school, and I remember, man, I got a bad report card about 7th grade.
Wow.
About 7th grade. And it was mostly D's and F's. I wasn't trying, you know. And I get home, and I remember like it was yesterday. I'm walking up the front porch, and my dad flings the door open, and he always had this bundle of keys, like just this fucking bundle of keys. Bam! Throws it at me and hits me in the balls.
Oh,
I drop.
I don't care how big you are, dude. That's the button. He's
like, I just talked to your fucking principal and blah 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 blah. You just gave me the run. And my dad was a fair individual at most of the times, but you know, when the ass was laid, the ass was laid. So I remember, I get up, I muster the courage to get up, and I stumble to the room, and he's going to hit me. And I think I'm smart, and I duck and move.
Whoa.
And clacks me in the face.
Wow.
Gives me black eye. The whole bit, right? And then all of a sudden, reality sets in on him. Fuck, your mom's going to be home in an hour.
Trying to pull out the whole makeup box and the ice.
I get this in my mind, right? Bro, I'm like you said, I'm in 7th grade, so I'm like 13, probably in there. But I hear the car pull up.
Ooh.
Bolt outside. Oh, my dad did. Went in the house and slapped the bejesus out of him. So there was no tomorrow. And meanwhile, I'm like this at my dad, like, my dad's getting hit, and I'm like this. Bro, dude, those are stories, man. They make the world. It's just, that's childhood, man. That's 80s childhood.
Yeah, that is, man. I'm not gonna lie, that is totally. Well, guys, let me show you a clip real quick. What happens with these kids, because we're not putting the hammer down on them at home. I know we get busy with life, but we have to have the time to school these kids, man, and everything, because it goes both ways. Yes, a teacher can get a little more excited and maybe go a tad too far with the spanking or paddling, but here's what could happen. Because this is just one case out of maybe hundreds upon thousands of cases in the last few years. So let's play this little clip real quick and see the consequences, because kids lose their minds these days. They don't just get mad, they lose their minds, because it's the same as when they don't get that toy and they're just throwing themselves on the ground, having a fit, kicking and screaming. They just let go completely. So they have to learn, they have to control themselves. So here's a clip, guys, and this is very unfortunate for this teacher.
This morning from a Corsicana educator who was injured by an out-of-control student. Kendra Rogers showed us her eye injury when she was hit by a wooden hanger.
He threw a wooden hanger at me, but I couldn't stop it fast enough. The hanger hit me in my right eye and knocked it out of the socket. I grabbed the blood was pouring out of my head and stumbled out of the classroom door.
Rogers care flighted to Parkland, emergency surgery, to try and save her eye.
Doctors were able to reinsert my eye. However, they determined that I've been blinded, and they currently believe that my damage is permanent.
She says it's time for the state to reevaluate the education code and how marginalized students are disciplined.
Overly aggressive students need services to meet their needs, but I do not believe the safety of other students and the educational staff should suffer.
Now, that student has since been detained and charges are pending with the district attorney's office. Karen.
All right, Lacey, thank you very much. We appreciate that live update.
So, okay, in that instance, right, I'm a big fan of, if my child was to do that to a teacher, bro, I want that teacher and her husband to come beat the shit out of my child. You throw something at your teacher like that, and you injure your teacher like that, there's no excuse I can give you on the planet to justify that.
Exactly, man. Exactly. And here's the thing.
Go back to those comment real quick.
3 paddles on the little kid's ass is nothing compared to a woman completely losing her sight permanently.
Bro, so my dad used to, back in the 80s, we had candy cigarettes. And you can
I'll tell you what my
them,
dad did too, man.
And you can puff them, right? My dad's like, you don't need no fucking candy cigarette. He would just give me a real cigarette to fake puff.
Oh, wow. My dad caught me one time because he was at a family party, I guess, and I was seeing him with all the adults smoking. Him and with my dad wasn't a big smoker, but he smoked every now and then, I guess. And I saw him, and it just looked so cool. It's fucking cool, man. My dad's sitting there with a bunch of his boys, and they're at a family party and smoking. And my dad noticed I was looking at him, like feeling for a damn puff of that thing. So he goes, "Hey, what are you doing?" And I go, "Nothing." He goes, "You like smoking? You like cigarettes?" And I go, he goes, "You think you can smoke a cigarette?" I said, "Yeah." And he goes, "Okay." I thought my dad was being the coolest fucking person on the planet when he did this to me. He was like, "Okay."
He was teaching you a lesson.
He was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Okay, come over here. Come here. It's okay. I'm gonna let you smoke a cigarette." So he lights the cigarette. He puts it in my mouth. He goes, "Don't move. I don't want to burn you." He turns on the lights the cigarette, right? And he goes, "Give me that." And he takes it. And he takes a few puffs, gets me going. And he goes, "Okay, here you go. Smoke the cigarette." And I'm going. He goes, No. He's like, "Hand it over. I'm gonna show you. Show you how to smoke like a man." He takes the cigarette and he goes, "You do this." He goes, "You inhale, and then you let out the smoke." I said, "Oh yeah, I got this." So he gives it to me, and I take it, and my hands shake. I'm so excited, my hand is shaking. I can barely grab the damn cigarette, and I take it, and I go, I almost died. Like, I was coughing, throwing up, the whole thing, dude.
The one time my dad ever lit the cigarette for me, he's like, if you want to be a man, here's how you're gonna smoke it. You're gonna suck the smoke in, and you're gonna breathe it out your nose. I'm like, I can do it. I'm like, 5-6 years old. I can do it, Dad. I can do it.
You can do it.
I drag it, and I go, not knowing what I'm doing. Again, I don't know what I'm doing. I drag it, and I just go,
oh yeah.
I'm just everywhere.
I remember
at it now. And
remember years later, dude. No lie, I remember my dad was like, I asked him about that. He goes, if I would have just shooed you away, years later you would have picked up cigarettes. So I had to let you understand that it was really bad. Then he told me his story about when he was young, how an old man, because this is how it used to be back in the days, everybody would discipline you. We're going to get back to this kid discipline. But he said that this guy was smoking, and he told my dad, "Hey, you like smoking?" He goes, "Yeah, I'm going to smoke." And he remembers that the old man said, "I'm going to let you smoke, but I need you to come here and Watch me do a trick first. So he tells him, he takes a puff out of that and he goes, I need you to look at my eyes. I'm gonna puff the cigarette and you're gonna see smoke coming out of my eyes. So my dad zoned in. He says, and if you can see when the smoke comes out, I'll let you smoke a cigarette. So my dad zoned in. He's telling me this. It's back in the days when dudes used to roll the cigarettes. And my dad says that the guy took a puff and he told him, look real close. Don't take your eyes off. And as he was like inhaling and they were looking at each other, the guy reaches down with his red hot cigarette and burns him on the side of his arm. My dad hops back and says like a million cuss words to the guy, and the guy goes, don't you ever ask anybody for cigarettes to smoke or anything. And then my dad said it worked. He said it kept him off of smoking until he was like 20, 25.
And that's funny because like I had these experiences, but like my brother was 5-ish years older than I was.
Okay.
So his experiences were a lot different. And I remember I would ask him, I'm like, what's smoking like? You know, just these dumb questions that like, 5 or 6 year olds gonna.
Yeah. He thinks something magical happens behind it.
Yeah, because he was so caught up in the late 80s, early 90s. Like he had his Los Angeles Raiders. They had this hat. He had this hat that I'll never forget. It was a Los Angeles Raiders hat, but on the top of the brim, it was a steel like plate that was like riveted on the plate.
Oh,
the emblems were like, dude, just what?
That was that
I'm
dope
just like,
ass NWA era Raiders hat.
exactly. And again, but then we go to like in-laws parties, and like everybody was Clamato and Budweiser. Clamato and Budweiser. Clamato, and that's why, like for me, like I cannot do beer. Can't do the smell of beer. It just is just bad.
Oh, I know. It's that whole Clamato thing.
But I look at it now, I'm like, okay, that makes sense. The way my dad was makes sense. The way my mom protected me made sense. And you look at these teachers, and man, I never would in a million years ever would have raised my voice or anything to these teachers.
And that's because we got that ass whooping at home. That's why. We know there was consequence. And just real quick, I'm going to put another little video up. You guys can pause it later on and look at the ruling and whatever. But Missouri is jumping on board. It's official. What they're saying is that they can do this, but they need a letter of consent from the parent. Letter of consent from the parent saying it's okay. Texas is big for this. And Texas also needs a letter of consent from the parents to be able to spank your kid. But they need to do it every single year. They have to do this every single year. So let's take a little quick clip here of what's going on. Thumbs up to whooping that ass. Yeah. We gotta have that. We gotta have it. It's
not against it. Again, though, I have girls, which if they did something to the point where they needed to get their ass whooped by a teacher, by all means.
Yeah. Yep.
Give it to her, because she's gonna get it worse when she gets home.
Yep.
And not even by me. I'm gonna get home last, and my wife's gonna be like, looking like Rocky fucking #1, like I didn't hear no bell. I'm good, bro. Wife's judge, jury, and executioner, and I appreciate it, but
don't knock it till you try it. If you ever heard of a michelada,
no, it is the worst smelling combination of alcohol and tomato juice you'll ever hear.
Yeah, I'm with you, James, on that, man. Don't lie.
And that's where I give my dad credit too, though. My oldest sister is about 10 years older than I am. She got pregnant.
You're the youngest, right?
I'm the baby. She got pregnant. My dad was like, hey, I ain't smoking around my grandkid. And he quit. He was a 2-packer a day. 2 packs a day for 20 years. And just quit cold turkey. Never smoked again because he was having a grandkid and didn't want to put that kind of smell on the grandkid. Meanwhile, the rest of the kids were like, thanks, Dad.
It's into the curtains and everything, dude. It's crazy to get it out.
Yeah.
James says thanks, and he says thanks to Kevin. Stone Cold says never smoked, but damn the whiskey addiction. You tell me about it.
Hey,
tell me.
This
whiskey ribs tomorrow.
Hold on,
brown sugar and hot pepper.
This is only since COVID, bro. I was never the drinker. My first 33 years of my life, 35 years of my life, yeah, maybe once a year. COVID, change some shit.
Yeah, crack will make you do weird things. Some people have developed not one, but 2 alter egos now. Make you dance in a room and make you feel a little funny. Go down the turnpike to the crack pipe of life.
I haven't seen the latest yet, so I gotta watch it.
I haven't watched anything. Like I said, the only time I pay attention to crap is when I step on it now.
Well, but that's even with the debates. Like, I just stopped watching this stuff because at the end of the day, hey, anytime you want, brother.
All for
it,
brother.
You. If you want to throw in that yellow Intercontinental, that's all right. I'm just saying, motherfucker would be appreciative.
You did you a favor, brother. It's a blessing in disguise. That's what you got to say.
But that's why we were talking about this before the show. Like, just separate myself from politics and stuff like that. I just can't watch it anymore because, like, I got enough going on where I don't need to add these 2 retards into my life.
Congratulations, Mr. Cynical. That is, I love hearing about that. A lot of people quit.
Good job, bro. Good job.
A little too late. I encourage drinking.
Still enjoy your reviews.
Awesome reviews. Awesome reviews.
Oh, John Bedoy. Gotta give him a shout out, man. That dude is doing some awesome reviews. He's been doing some like
That's what it is.
Some like 5K shit, like the running and like over because he's honestly the only person in the bell hobby I've ever met in person.
Really? Wow.
Only person I've met in the hobby. But genuinely good dude. Like I'm a big ogre, man. But I protect that dude like there's no tomorrow. If he called me and was like, "Yo, I need protection," I'm like, "I got you," because he's a generally good dude. He's got a great mind for cinematography. He's got a great mind for reviews and how to put it together. Yep. So go look at his reviews and check out his reviews. He's got one where he compared an ORM Big Eagle to a Classic Shields Big Eagle. Check that out, man, because the dude is just... There's people that are talented and there's people that don't try to be talented. They're just talented. And that's him. He's just... He doesn't have to try to be talented. He's just...
We're going to call him the natural John Bedoy.
Another guy I want to give props to because, you know what? The guy's a mainstay. He does his thing, and he's just consistent. If you guys can go check out David Babble's reviews, I think he changes his name so many times it's hard to keep up with. But wow. David Babble, he's got his reviews out. Again, he's another one of these guys in the hobby that just wants to have a good time, that enjoys collecting, and that's it. There's no rhyme or reason other than that.
Yeah.
Richard, from the host to host to coast to coast, you get your ass in bed because I'm going to roast you the most. Good night.
That's right. Hammer's another one, guys. Yes, he's good.
Again, Hammer's another great one.
Another good one. He's good for the hobby. Good for the hobby. A lot of good guys for the hobby, man. Guys, quick reminder again.
Ain't that
Yeah,
true?
we'll get in our last subject, guys, because we're saving it for the last few minutes here. We're about to get out of here, which there wasn't really much to talk about, to be honest. If you saw the debate, I think the hardest drop the mic comment of the night was, and I'm not a Kamala Harris supporter or anything like that, but we know a good comment when we hear it and we see it, guys. She told Trump that he was fired by 81 million people. It was heavy. There were some shots going back and forth. Honestly, if you didn't watch it, you didn't miss anything. There was really nothing to be learned from this. Nobody gave facts or hard statistics about anything. Nobody laid out a real plan about anything they're doing. We got the same thing that I've been hearing from Trump for a while. Everything's the biggest, everything's the greatest, never seen before, never had been before like this. Kamala Harris, same thing. We have a plan, it's going to be good. We're looking towards the future. We're not focusing on the past. It was a big old turd dump in the water.
See, and that's why I abstained from watching it. I was gonna watch it, then I was just like, you know what? I'm not gonna watch it because I'm gonna listen to a broad that's gonna tell me how she's gonna fix the economy that she's been charged of for the last 3.5 years. Okay, one. Trump, I'm gonna listen to Trump talk some shit and be a troll. That's the best I can say about him. I like Trump because the establishment doesn't like Trump. It has nothing to do with politics, has nothing to do with that. When the establishment that is established is out there and doesn't like a person, I'm going to take that person just because. But again, as far as politics goes, man, I'd love to wish my vote matter, but in California, it's going Democrat.
It's really tough. I hear what we hear this year a lot is I'm voting for the lesser of two evils thing. There is no lesser of two evils here, guys. I think what we're missing big time, what we don't even hear that happened 16 years ago, 15 and a half, whatever you want to call it. We're not, has anybody, think about this. Is anybody talking about the propositions? Is anybody talking about the new laws, local laws? Is anybody talking about your senators? Who's going to be in your Senate for your state? Who you can write to? Who you can make changes with? What new things as citizens that we have? What do we want to implement or change to our advantage of daily life? Nobody's talking about this. Nobody's talking about anything like that. We are so focused on Kamala and Trump. We're not looking at anything else that's going to trickle down. Let's look at the facts. Not Trump or her. I think you're muted, or your mic went out.
That's where they want you to be, though. They want you to be bickering over two bobbleheads.
Yeah,
that's what they are.
Let's get this straight. They're all saying the cost of living and rent is too high. Okay, who are you going to convince? Are you going to convince your landlords to lower your rent? Are you for real? They can't control that. They can't control that. You're not going to get supermarkets to lower down the cost of your groceries.
So
there's people out there in those fields fighting to make a higher wage for the work they do. That has to come out of all our pockets. We're not controlling that, guys. It's smoke in your eye. Smoke's
We're in a phase right now of the economy where we went through a great inflation. Things were overly inflated. We would hope to be in a deflation, but deflation doesn't happen because that means prices are going to go back to what they were. We're in a deflection. The deflection means prices are just going to level out, and that's going to be the new normal. Your $7 a dozen eggs is going to be the new normal.
Yeah.
Your $8 a pound of bacon is going to be the new normal. At work tomorrow, I have an audit at work tomorrow. Just to make sure that the chickens have room enough to lay more eggs for a fast food company. We can be shut down if the chickens don't have enough room to lay a fucking egg.
And that's the thing. There is a lot of people in the mix. It all starts from the bottom. We have farmers, then you have activists, you have your local laws and regulations, and they want these chickens to be free range and be comfortable and practically on water beds to be able to eat a good egg or 2 or 3 in the day.
Pigs too, actually.
Yeah, pigs. I mean, and that goes for all really farm animals, man. So that cost goes up. Guys, just stop with the nonsense. Gas is not going to go down. Your groceries is not going to go down. They have no control. It's stupid to believe what they're saying. Trump is not going to do it. Kamala is not going to do it. Nobody's going to do that.
In the bigger picture, they don't want the price to go down because they want you to have to continue to work. If you continue to work, that means your head's down and you're not paying attention to what they're doing.
Exactly.
So there's no motivation for them to make sure that you can afford to feed you and your family, because you know what they're going to do? That guy can get another job, and it's okay. And while you're working your 2 jobs, they're getting rich, and you're just going to get heart disease at 55 and die.
Yeah, it's just, we're retiring if you get there. If you're lucky to get there, we're retiring at the age of 62. How much can you enjoy at the age of 62, guys? Come on. This is not what it is, guys. It's not what it is. So I would say look up your local laws. Look at petitions that are going around in your city or state. Look at the propositions that are going to change things for you. Those are the things we really got to look at, guys. We're really forgetting about all of that. We've made it all about these 2 people standing up on the stage and forgot about everything else completely. Guys, we've come to the end of our show. We're a little extended. I appreciate you guys for tuning in, putting some time in with us, guys.
Love and appreciate every single one of you guys that just come and interact, and just, we are grateful.
Thank you, guys. And we will see you in the hobby and around the hobby. We will see you on the next one, guys. Tune in next week. Hopefully we have a special guest. Couldn't get him on this week. Things get conflicted, times and schedules. We do have a life aside from this and everybody else. Platinum, thanks for being on here too, guys. He says, have a good night, fellas. Thank you, brother. Appreciate that. We are pretty much out of here. I've got to go heat up some food and dinner or something. I don't know. I got to scrape something up. We'll see what happens. But guys, again, thank you. And we'll see you on the next one, guys. We're out of here.